when you load into BeamNG Drive for the first time and look around, something doesn't seem quite right. You drive around. In a giant city like this, you expect to see cars and pedestrians everywhere, but you don't. It just turns into this kind of eerie atmosphere. If there's a lot of shops here, shouldn't people be shopping in them and walking around? And why is there no parked cars? Why is there this big, massive highway and no one's using it? Am I the only one here? It gets even creepier when you drive around at night. At nighttime in cities, there are usually cars everywhere, and the streets should be lit up, and all the buildings should be lit up. But in BeamNG Drive, it's all dark, with only a few lights. This is Canopsia. It's the feeling you get when there's supposed to be people here, but there's nothing. It sets a weird, eerie atmosphere. Here is an example of this. Now, in GTA 5, the streets of Los Santos are filled with cars, and the sidewalks are with pedestrians. When you drive around with no pedestrians and no vehicles and remove them using mods, the game turns really creepy, almost like a horror game. It's like a giant big city and absolutely no one is there. So now you probably get what I'm trying to say. That's one major contributing factor of how BeamNG Drive sometimes feels eerie and creepy. When you drive around, you feel like humans once occupied the city, but now it's a complete ghost town with no one living in it. Now you're probably saying right now, what about traffic AI? Wouldn't that fix it? Well, it kinda does, but it's not until you realize how the traffic AI acts in certain situations. Sometimes the traffic AI just hits things and just starts stopping and its wheels start spinning. Like what's going on right now. When you start to realize that what you're playing with and the cars by you are fake, then it's all ruined and it feels like the world is just occupied by robots and the game starts to become creepy again. The most creepy and weird part of BeamNG Drive is the Farlands. It is very obvious you are not supposed to be here at all. But here I am. The terrain looks very creepy and fake, and it kind of reminds me of some Backrooms levels. Now, games and graphics-wise on this map, older games used to look like this, but when the game looks like this, it's a 2023 game, the map just kind of looks weird when it's low poly and has low resolution ground textures. There's no trees, no nature, no noises, no nothing. Imagine getting teleported here right now. It would be very creepy. You'd obviously be confused, but you'd also be quite scared because this place is really weird, and I would not like to be here at all in real life. This next contributing factor is the noises. BeamNG Drive has little to no ambient noises at all. Now, one time while I was playing Jungle Rock Island, I decided to take my car in some of the many interiors the map has. Then I heard these really weird noises that I've never heard before in BeamNG Drive. I don't have any recordings of it, and I have tried to find them, but I could not at all. And I don't know if it was my speakers or what. So when I entered some of the buildings, I heard this weird muffled car engine noise, but it wasn't coming from my own car engine. I heard some weird beeping sounds with it, and it sounded very distorted. Now, I don't know what it could be. I tried looking everywhere online for this, but the closest thing I found is that the tropical noises, or the tropical animals make those kind of noises, some user said. But other than that, I really wasn't able to find any other reason for this. If you've heard these noises, please let me know in the comments, or maybe tell me what do you think they are, because I'd really like to know. This is the third contributing factors. So, some maps in BeamNG Drive are very realistic, but there are some weird glitches in those maps, and when you see them, it kind of ruins immersion, and it makes you think you're in some kind of sort of simulation, which you really are, but it's just still kind of weird to think about, even if you're like in a video game. Now, while I'm in grid map right now. So grid map is actually a really weird map. Now, BeamNG Drive is so immersive, grid map looks real. And it actually looks like a real place on Earth for some reason, because that's how realistic the game looks. Now, when in real life have you ever seen something this open? This just looks really creepy and unsettling. Even more creepier is the nighttime. The massive, unlimited space in the map, combined with the weird night sky, really makes the map really confusing in a way. Like, is this some kind of other planet? Is this real? Like, is this an actual place in the BeamNG Drive universe? There are just so many questions running through my head when I play this map. This map is endless. When I say it's endless, I really mean it. There must be something in the code on this map that makes it endless, but I'm not really sure. Now, maybe it's because it's on another planet and it's just a sphere, a massive giant planet, and all that's on the planet is just a grid. That's my theory for why the map is endless, and why I think maybe this could really be something part of the BeamNG Drive lore universe. This could be just more than a car top speed testing map. Another really creepy part of this map is just the dead silence. So I've turned my engine completely off and the game is at 100% volume. This is how silent the map is. So how can BeamNG Drive really fix this? Well, one, they should really add nights during nighttime at the game. Now, I have heard adding lights during nighttime in BeamNG Drive would be a bad idea because it could affect performance, but BeamNG Drive developers are usually really good at optimization, so I guess this would be a pretty necessary thing to add to make the game at least a little bit less unsettling. The next thing is maybe make the traffic AI car smarter, which would be pretty hard to do, but something a little less harder to do is to add pedestrians. Now I know what you're thinking. You'd be able to run them over, and that would make the BeamNG Drive game rated R. Well, how about like in The Crew 2, where if you try to hit a pedestrian, they always move out of the way no matter what. Maybe BeamNG Drive could add something like that. That would be a pretty cool addition to the game, and it could really make the maps feel more alive. Well, I really hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. I'll see you guys in the next BeamNG Drive episode, and thanks for watching today's video.